Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. So first shloka is very important. So let us study that in detail. Dashaka number 15. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Madiriha Gunasatta Bandhakriteshva tu Avridakrit Uparundhe Bhaktiyogastu Saktim Mahat Anukamalabhya Bhaktirevatra Sadhya Kapila Tanuriti Tvam Devahutyainyagadhi. Last chapter we saw Kartama Prajapati did tapas. Then bhagavAn is pleased with his bhakti. bhagavAn appeared before him. bhagavAn blessed him, said, "You will have Devahuti as your wife." So Kartama Prajapati married Devahuti. Then bhagavAn said, "You will have, I myself will be born as your son." And so after that bhagavAn disappeared. Then Kartama Prajapati married Devahuti. Still he continued to do tapas, but Devahuti with intense devotional service pleased her husband. And then Kartama Prajapati, by his tapas shakti, assumed a very youthful body. And Devahuti also, had very good, youthful body because of the tapas of Kartama. And both of them were living happily as in the Grihastha way, roaming in Pushpaka Vimana from different places. For 100 divine years, they spent like this. They had 9 daughters. And then finally, Kapila, bhagavAn himself was born as Kapila. And Kartama Prajapati retired to the forest. So, Devahuti, so long, she was so attached to that life of family life. So, when all the husband is such a bhakta, and all the daughters are very beautiful, and everything is beautiful family, and so she got very much attached to family. Then it is came over. Kartama went to forest. Daughters are all married. Now Devahuti is still having so much attachment, but things leave us, right? So then Kapila, this avatara bhagavAn has taken to teach Sankhya Yoga. So in every avatara, bhagavAn has certain purpose and he will only act in that way. So Kapila Muni will not be like a baby Krishna doing childhood leelas. Kapila Muni, Gambhira avatara, he has come to teach Amma. He is the boss, he is going to teach. It's not like having pleasures of raising a child. It's not so at all. This is a teaching avatara. So Devahuti Amma knows that she has still so much attachment to worldly things. So she's telling her son, "Please teach me. Your father is already gone. What about my liberation? Who is going to help me? Who will be my guru and take me to bhagavAn? You please teach me." Devahuti asked Kapila bhagavAn. And so bhagavAn is the guru. The son is the guru for Amma in this avatara. So he will act in that way. So Devahuti is telling them, there is so much attachment. How do I get rid of all this attachment? People will say, right, everything is going well, why should I not be attached? But then you see, age comes and then finally this body is only temporary. We will all become old. So either way we have to give up. Either things will leave us or we will leave them, right? Either all the things we attach, either that things will leave us or we will get old and leave them. Either way, there is going to be end in the world. So Devahuti is asking, how will I attain bhagavAn? What is the way? So bhagavAn starts teaching. Why is someone attached? Matiriha, mati means buddhi. Matiriha gunasakta. It is so attached to all the worldly things, to worldly possession, to my house, to my family members, husband or wife or children, and to all the things I have, to the place where I live, I'm attached to all these. Because of this, I continuously go in the cycle of Janma and Marana, birth and death. That is why Bandakrit. This is what causes bondage. So the mind, which is Mati or Buddhi. Mati means intelligence, or the Manas, the total mind with the Buddhi. If it is attached to worldly things, it will be in bondage and it will be temporary. So that attachment causes bondage. Matiriha gunasakta bandakrit teshvasaktadu bandakrit. So mind is attached to bondage, but if the teshu asaktatu bandakriteshvasaktatu asaktava irunda, suppose we didn't have attachment, Amritakrit uparunde, that itself will take us to liberation. So say if we did not have attachment and we had bhakti, then only we will get liberation. Amritakrit uparunde bhakti yogastu saktim. So just by not having attachment, it's not enough. It's not like just having vairāgyam. With vairāgyam, there should be bhakti. Bhakti yogastu saktim. Only with bhakti and and also combined with vairāgyam and jnana, we can attain bhagavAn. So bhagavAn is explaining, Amma, you have to get rid of all the attachment. Otherwise, you will be continuously going in this cycle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam. This is a shloka somewhere in Bhagavatham. The Viveki, the one who has Vivekam, means discrimination, who knows what is right, what is wrong, that person will continuously think about this Janma. Are, another Janma has come. Now after this Janma is over, another womb have to go. And another, I'll be born from another person. And Janma will happen. Then if I am born, then I have to die. So Mrityu is also very, very painful. When the subtle body leaves the Sharira, so many, like all the nerve cell of pitch, it will go out. And it also hurts, it seems. Like we have gone through that, but luckily by God's grace, we don't remember it. Adi Bhagavan's kripa, even though we have died before, we don't remember how painful it was because of Bhagavan's kripa on us. But Janma and Mrityu are both painful. Not only that, Jara, old age, people will not give you importance. People will be busy with their thing. Nobody will want to hear what you say. They'll ignore you. So old age stuff. Then Vyadi, some disease. We already see how much this COVID Asura is creating trouble for everyone. So Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha. Not only that, some dukkha of losing a loved one or having some evil one in our life, all this dukkha will come. And so, all these problems, if we know, we are able to see that all the time. We are able to think about this all the time. A viveki will do that. A viveki means the one who has discrimination. So, to remember this all the time, then only we will strive to cross this and say, Krishna, what is my way? So Devahuti is like that now. As she has been Kartama's wife, so she has so much vivekam that she is able to understand the harmfulness of all this. So she is asking with really deep desire to cross this samsara and attain him. So Bhagavan, with full karuNai, he is explaining to a mother who is a woman, who is really not a pandit or a scholar, how in simple words Bhagavan is explaining this. So he is telling, let us not be attached to the world because it will cause bondage. Instead, now comes the next line. Then Devahuti Amma is saying, okay, you are saying bhakti I should have, but how will I get bhakti? She is asking. So We should have vairāgyam, which is renunciation, with bhakti. So she is asking, how will I get bhakti? Mahat anugamalabhya. Bhakti will not come by reading books. Bhakti will not come just by starving and doing some vrata or by doing some tapas, yes, standing in the rain or facing cold temperature and doing tapas. Bhakti will not come. How will bhakti come? Mahat anugamalabhya, by sadhu sangha only bhakti will come. So go and get attached to sadhus. Who is telling? Kapila Bhagavan. Is he not Bhagavan? Can he not give liberation to Amma straight away? He is Bhagavan, right? This avatara is not supposed to be like that. Krishna gave moksha to everyone just like that. But this Kapila avatara, Bhagavan will behave in every avatara in that way. Bhagavan kuda or discipline order, he does the avatara. A Varaha avatara will be for like that. Every avatara has unique purpose and Bhagavan will act with that purpose only. Very beautifully Bhagavan as though avaru kattupatirukar, as though he is also bound by some rules, it seems, right? So Kapila is Bhagavan. He says, Amma, I give you moksha, bye, good. Nahi kiya. He said, go to sadhus. He is telling, you go to sadhus. But only sadhus can give. Who is a sadhu? Then we will ask, Mahanna yare? Mahat anugamalabhya. Only by the sangha, by the association of Mahans, one will get bhakti. Then the question will come, who is the Mahan? So it's very beautifully described in bhagavAtham. All this comes in 3.25 from shloka 20 onwards. 3.25 is Kapilopakhyana Bhakti Yoga. So the first shloka number 20 only, Bhattadri has condensed here. Prasangamajadam pasham atmanakavayo viduhu sa eva sadhushu krito mokshadvaram apavridam. Ide shloka Bhattadri said in this Madiriha guna sakta bandha krisheshva sakta adu amrita kriduparunde Bhakti yogastu saktim Mahat anugamalabhya. Mahanoda anugrathla, Mahanoda sangathla, by the association with Mahan, we will get bhakti. How will a Mahan be? Ṭeachings, karunikaha, suhridaha, sarvadehinam. Epome, they are always patient. Ṭeachings, they have forbearance. They are always tolerating anyone, everyone, all the time. They have lot of patience. Ṭeachings, karunikaha, they have so much karuna. If we see a bad person with bad habits and we get angry, right? Arey, such bad habits, I don't want to be anywhere near the person, not sadhu. If he goes and stands by sadhu, he will, give fruit and bless that person also. They have only karuna to everyone. Karunikaha, suhridaha, they are well-wishers. They only wish well for everyone. Sarvadehina, anyone, not a wealthy person who has big, going to give big donation, no. Or not like, low caste has come, I don't want, not like that. Sarvadehina, ajata shatravaha, they have no enemies at all. They are friendly to everyone. Shantaha, always peaceful by nature. Sadhavaha, sadhu bhushanaha. Then more about sadhus. My ananyena bhavena bhakti kuruvanti ye dridam. They are always having intimate relationship with me. Ananya bhakti. Anya ashray kadayam. There is no other relying on anybody else, only Bhagavan. And they have deep devotion to Bhagavan. Mat krite tyakta karmanaha. For the sake of Bhagavan, they have given up everything, their attachment, and they are living in the world to serve Bhagavan and all the people. And so, mat krite tyakta karmanaha. Tyakta swajana bandavaha. They have given up their own relations. They have their agenda they don't have. They only work for bhagavan. And they have a purpose. So they have incarnated, and so they incarnate to achieve bhagavan's purpose. And so they will be really devoted to bhagavan. This is what we should see if you want to shop around for sadhus. What else? Madashrayam katha mrishtaha. They are always hearing katha or saying katha. In this Kali Yuga, the sadhus will always be narrating Bhagavatham, hearing and singing kirtan. This is the way, this is the bhakti way in Kali Yuga, right? So, madashraya kadamrishtaha shinvanti kathayanti cha tapanti vividastapa naitan madgata chetasaha. They are always happy and narrating my kathas, and so they have no other concerns, no other worries. So, this also you should see when you want to find a sadhu. Then thAyE sadhavah sadvi sarva sangha vivarjitaha sangasteshvatate pratyah sangadosha harahite. These are the qualities of sadhus. There is a Mahan in North India, Barsana, and one devotee from Mumbai, he went to see him and he said, Maharaj, Mumbai mein katha hua tha. There was a beautiful katha in Mumbai. And this katha vachak, the pravachan person, is so amazing. He told he spoke so well about Vrindavan, about the glories of Vrindavan, about the Dham Seva, how we should protect Vrindavan, and how it is, to give moksha just by living there. How the greatness of Vrindavan he described in his pravachan, and all the people are crying, hearing Vrindavan, and they say, we want to go to Vrindavan, we want to go to Vrindavan. Like this, he gave katha so beautifully, Maharaj. And then it was last day, and then all the people are so sad he's leaving, and they gave a lot of offering to him. And finally, the katha vachak, he says, I'm very sad to leave. Why are you sad? You're going to Vrindavan. Why are you sad? Because he's from Vrindavan, the speaker. He says, I'm very sad to leave. Why? Tomorrow there is no more katha in Mumbai, he says. All the katha is over. There is no other dates in Mumbai for katha. Then what does it mean? He really didn't like Vrindavan then, right? He's speaking so much about Vrindavan and greatness. But he says, I want new programs in Mumbai. Then it is not matching, right? What he is speaking and what he actually wants do not match. Is he sadhu? No, not really. So we should say speakers will speak very well, and they seem to be great bhaktas and all, but really you should know who is the real sadhu, because in Kali Yuga people get attracted by the crowd, the name, the fame, and how many programs I'm going to give and all this. So that is why the sadhu means titikshavaha, karunikaha, suhridaha, sarvadehina, ajata shatravaha shanta. இப்படி இருக்க நம்ம சாது இருக்காரே, நம்ம we have in our Chennai இருக்காரே ஒருத்தர், go try. So many of us already have blessed to have his darshan. I just had 2 weeks ago, so I'm very fresh. So why did bhakti develop in us? Because of every darshan we get, the bhakti fire is kindled in the beginning, and then it grows more and more. The bhakti is growing more and more with every darshan. So we get enthusiasm for bhakti. It is not like, I have to do mala today. No, I have to do mala today. Wow. I have to make, food for Krishna today. I have to make Govardhan Leela. We are celebrating in Bhagavatham. I have to make chap and bhog. Everybody gets enthusiastic to do bhakti. How did it come? By Mahan Sanugraham, by Gurunada's Anugraham. So that is why the Mahan or the Sangatlanan bhakti will grow. So being the Sangha of Mahan or their Shishyas, and then only Bhakti grows. So, this is what Kapila Bhagavan is teaching Amma in the very first shloka. He could easily very well give moksha because he himself is Bhagavan, but he says, you go and find sadhus. And so, Mahad Anugamalabhya Bhakti Reva Prasadhya. That is why we are born. Why? To get bhakti and attain Bhagavan. That is the purpose of human birth. Not to make my son go to Harvard and then have him married and then have grandchildren and then they study well and they become famous. That is not the end. The end is Bhakti Reva Trasadhya. To attain Bhakti to Bhagavan. That is my purpose. Aduvum clear achiyen with Mahan Sangam. Before, we were all wandering. You know how? Dhanyan thAyE aruLAl bhagavAn bhagavAtham bhagavan nAmam ellAm solli thandadu thAnE dhanyan thAyE aruLAl kAraNamindri karuNai pozhindAy kAraNam illAda bhakthiyai thandAy kAraNam ulagil enakku kAraNam ulagil enakku-jagat kAraNam thAyE kAraNam ulagil right? Without any purpose, I was wandering in the world and making money and pleasing everyone else without any real purpose. But you brought me purpose in this life, Nada. You brought me this Kannan's seva. You gave this beautiful satsanga. So it is all your grace. I'm really thankful. And like that, that's Tamil song by Gurunada. So how will bhakti come? Only by Mahan Sangha. So again, like I said the last time, this new year, make a resolution. May I have darshan of Mahan. That is how to do. Get a picture of Guruji in your house and put chant 21 Nama every day and say, please Guruji, everybody is telling about you. May I also have your darshan. Do that. Do namaskar every day. Then Guruji will make it happen because it is going to change your life. Why? That is why we saw that the shloka, Nahyam mayani tirthani na deva mrichila maya te punanturu kalena darshana deva sadavaha. Tirtha stalas or temple idols will purify but after a long time. But sadhukal will purify by mere darshan, by immediate darshan. Immediate. So that is why this shloka is super important. Mahad anugamalabhya bhakti reva prasadhya kapila tanuriti. This Kapila, you were born as Kapila Grandpa. You taught your mother like this. First shloka, Kapila tanuriti devahutyainyagadi. Next shloka, Prakriti mahat ahaṅkārāscha matrāscha bhūtāni abhihridabhidashakshi purushah panchavimshah. Prakriti mahat ahaṅkārāscha matrāscha bhūtāni abhihridabhidashakshi purushah panchavimshah. Idi vidida vibhago muchyate sau prakritya kapila tanuriti devahutyainyagadhi. Idi vidida vibhago muchyate sau prakritya kapila tanuriti devahutyainyagadhi. And so Kardama Prajapati is already in that state, he's a jnani already. And so he is going to finish the rest of his life meditating and then attaining Bhagavan. So the avatara is like that. It's not like a Rama or a Krishna playing in your lap and enjoying life with them. This avatara is different. So Kapila Bhagavan, even though he is Bhagavan, he is telling, Amma, you go and find sadhus and they will give you bhakti, and by their grace, only the ajnana nashakam devam, that ignorance, which is primordial ignorance. We have taken so many janmas and accumulated so many unfulfilled desires are still there. So too, another very beautiful thing why Mahan will change our life. If you see the story in Mahapariva's life also, one person asked Mahapariva for moksha, and Mahapariva in his vision, he is able to see this person has 7 more janmas to live. He is able to see that, and so Mahapariva still blesses him, and he goes. And then in during his last moments, Mahapariva here, he is not near that bhakta. He is far away. Mahapariva one day goes to the river and does takes a dip in the river and does tarpan 7 times. Again and again he took bath and did puja for 7 times he did. Then other bhaktas are asking, why are you doing? Then he says that Purandarulu, I think his name was, he attained moksha today. So even though he had 7 more births to go through, by Mahan's anugraha, he just finished in that same birth. So Mahans can do that. When another example in Bhagavata Mahatmyam, we saw Atmadeva meeting the sannyasi and telling, I want a son. The sannyasi is able to see that you will not have son for 7 births. But then the Atmadeva says, I want, that's all I want. I don't want to get moksha, I want a son. So this sadhu blesses him with a fruit and says, you give the fruit to your wife and she will have a son. So the story goes like that, but the son turned out to be like a criminal and a waste, and he wasted all the father's money. But for Atmadeva, all the karma was exhausted in this birth, and he read Dashamaskanda and attained Krishna. So in the very same birth, because of sadhu sangha, Atmadeva attained moksha. So the sadhu's vision, their grace, so much karma will be extracted and taken out. So we don't have to go through all that with so many births. They'll condense everything into one birth, and so things will move very fast. So this is also the blessing of by Mahans only. They can exhaust our karma faster. Otherwise, we are holding so much prarabdha karma, sanchita karma, agami karma. All this karma waiting to bear fruit any moment. And so we'll be going round and round forever. So when Mahan's Sangha comes, they are able to make that very fast. They are able to make your progress very fast. So that is why, again, Mahans, they make the big difference. So here, Prakriti Mahad Ahaṅkārāscha Matrāscha Bhutani. So in this way, it's called Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means numbering system, numbersler. So he is describing all the 24 categories. We say it many times. Karmendriya 5, Jnanendriya 5, all the Panchabhutas and all their Tanmatras become 20. Then Manas, Chitta, Buddhi, Ahaṅkāra, 4 inner organs, antakarana, 24 plus 1 is the Purusha. So after separating all this, what is left is that Purusha. If one is able to stop the senses from running. Yesterday we saw in Prahlada shloka, Jihvaika Chuda, all the tongue is taking me one way, the eyes are taking me one way, ears are taking me one way. Prahlada is saying, how will I attain moksha, Krishna? Right? So if we are able to navigate properly in this by making our eyes look at Krishna and worship him. Our hand is going to do puja or put rangoli or cook for him. Hands are used like that. If the ears are hearing katha of bhagavAn, the mouth is always singing nama. Like this, if we are training our indriyas slowly like this in bhakti, then bhakti grows and it only will remove all the attachment and then it will lead to liberation. So this, and also one by one you will be able to eliminate and see the spirit within you. So this is the Sankhya Yoga Marga, to be able to separate all the others, go beyond the mind and go watch the ahaṅkāra, wreaking havoc inside us. This aham is the cause of all, root cause of all the problem. Aham, me, that feeling. So if one is able to see that how aham is disturbing me and be in that peaceful state which is deep within, then you can also attain bhagavAn that way. That is the dhyana way, right? But we are saying in Kali Yuga, Bhakti Marga, that is the path given in Bhagavatham Bhakti Marga. So, but the other way is Sankhya Yoga, to slowly eliminate all the other distraction and attain bhagavAn through jnana. So, adu idha inga he is telling, idi vidita vibhago muchyate sau prakritya. If you are able to see the division between all this and go deeper, then you are released from prakriti. Otherwise, this prakriti has a strong hold on us. It will never leave us. That hold is so strong. The mind, it goes through different states. Sometimes it's in a peaceful state, sometimes it's in a revengeful state, sometimes it is in a passionate state. You can watch your own mind, how it will keep playing all this with you, and you are the victim. The mind was the neither victim, because the aham is not my friend at all. The aham is not my friend, it is only dragging me down. So the aham has to be totally eliminated only by when we chant nama. We should chant with love and with the humility, and we say, Krishna, please help me, Krishna. Please take me out of this. Appadi you should say, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, என்று பாடிடுவோம், கரத்தாளம் போட்டாடுவோம். Like that we should sing with feeling. With every time we chant Bhagavatham, we should chant with like, Krishna, please release me, Krishna, or thank you for Bhagavatham, Krishna. Thank you for this. Like that we should chant it, sis. I'm not doing like that. I'm just telling all this. I'm also like that. Mumbai pravachan karta, bolna kuch or karna kuch. No, don't believe everything. But ideally we should do like that. So this way if we do, then the nama takes fruit immediately. And it gives fruit very fast. Otherwise, you take time, nama also takes time. So if we want urgently, then we should be do bhakti like that. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Like this, our Kapila is teaching again. Prakriti gada guna ugai najyade purushoyam yadidu sadadi tasya tadgunastam bhajedan मदनुभजन तत्त्वालोचनै साप्यपेयाते कपिलतनुरितित्वं देवहूत्यैन्यगादीः प्रकृतिगतगुणौघैर्नाज्यते पूरुषोऽयं यदिदु सजति तस्य तद्गुणास्तं भजेदन् मदनुभजन तत्त्वालोचनै साप्यपेयाते कपिलतनुरितित्वं देवहूत्यैन्यगादीः. Prakriti and Purusha are separate. If you are able to find that separation, then we have attained jnana. We are able to see ourselves as the Purusha is always peaceful, Satchit Ananda Swarupa. But I am not having access to the Purusha because I am in the Prakriti state always, in the state of gunas, always getting attached, having sukha, dukkha, harsha, shoka, bhaya, krodha, all this. So I'm not able to see Purusha who is peaceful, blissful. I'm not. So there, how to do that? By inquiring and again thinking, like how we said in the last shloka, again and again, there is the dhyana marga, ajnana marga. So hearing and then say aham brahmasmi, like that. There is another marga, it will teach you like that, but it's not so easy. Just by saying it, it's not going to go. The aham is so deep rooted. So only by Guru's grace this aham can be removed. This aham is the root cause of my bondage and all the problems. So the aham, they will be doing vichara. In Jnana Marga, they are doing self-enquiry to again and again, where is this coming? Where is this chalanam, the vibration, where is it coming? They'll keep on doing like that. So that is the other way, Jnana Marga, to do enquiry and reach Bhagavan, which is very difficult for me, very difficult in Kali Yuga. So the next one is Vimalamadirupaatairasanadhyairmadangam. This is the Yoga Marga. So Vimalamadirupaatairasanadhyairmadangam Garuda Samadhirudam Divyabhushayudangam Ruchitulita Tamalam Shilayedanuvelam Kapilatanudititvam Devahutyainyagadhi विमलमतिरुपातैरासनाद्यैर्मदङ्गम् गरुडसमधिरूढम् दिव्यभूषायुधाङ्गम् रुचितुलिततमालम् शीलयेतानुवेलम् कपिलतनुरितित्वम् देवहूत्यैन्यगादी. Purity and we have a deep desire to attain Bhagavan, we can try yoga asanas. All this is asanadhyayi. So people will do yoga asana and do dhyana of Bhagavan. To do that Ashtanga yoga, otherwise many steps are there. And every step is so difficult. Even from the beginning, yamam, niyamam, asanam, pranayamam, pratyaharam, dhyana, samadhi, all these 8 things are there. Pratyaharam, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So to go through each one, never speak lies, always have purity, always do your swadharma correctly, so many things. And impossible in Kali Yuga. This is called the Yoga Marga. So by doing that yoga and being peaceful nature, then doing dhyana of Bhagavan's form, again and again, doing dhyana or tapas like Dhruva, how he did. Can we all do like that? Nowhere. In Kali Yuga, impossible, right? So that is another way to attain Bhagavan. Kapila is teaching Amma, Kapila Tanuriditvam Devahutyainyagadhi. But this is the one, next shloka, that applies to us. Mama gunagana leela karnanaihi kirtanadhyaihi Maisura Saridogha Prakhyachittaanuvrittihi Bhavati Parama Bhaktihi Sahi Mrityor Vijetri Kapila Tanurititvam Devahutyainyagadhi Mama Gunagana Leela Karnanaihi Kirtanadhyaihi Maisura Saridogha Prakhyachittaanuvrittihi Bhavati Parama Bhaktihi Sahi Mrityor Vijetri Kapila Tanurititvam Devahutyainyagadhi. Of Bhagavan, singing the leelas of Bhagavan, hearing about the leelas, hearing about gunas of Bhagavan from sadhus. This is the easy way to attain moksha in Kali Yuga. Mama guna leela karnanaihi kirtanadhyaihi, chanting the divine names again and again, and with little bit of more feeling from now on. I'm also going to try, you also try. Okay? I'm also trying. So with more feeling and with more attention, if we chant like that, we get more oneness and more peace very fast. Mama gunalila karnanaihi kirtanadhyaihi Maisura saridogha prakhyachittaanuvrittihi. Let the mind flow to you, Bhagavan, like the river flow, Ganga flows to the ocean, like that, or smoother on the, like my mind flow towards you always. Whatever we are thinking, that only comes back again and again. If we are thinking about a jealous person, then that thought keeps coming and then I become like that person. So, but if I'm thinking about Guruvayurappan, then I feel peace and Anandam. Why? Because Guruvayurappan's nature is Satchit Anandam. So, we should think about such things. Bhagavatham, Grantham. I'm far away driving somewhere, but remember the beautiful book Bhagavatham and the shlokas. Just remember like that. Then you feel bliss. Or if you think about some good bhakta in satsanga, then you feel bliss. But if you think about somebody is competing or somebody is giving sarcastic remark or teasing you and all, you think about that person, then you also get the qualities of that person within you. So the mind and whichever thought it thinks, it becomes like that. So that is why you have to again and again call his name, think his name, or remember his form, or remember his devotees, remember some story from Narayaneeyam or some shloka from Bhagavatham. Like this, if we can, then our mind will be peaceful people, will be happy people. Then others will want to say, what is your secret? They'll also come like that. So like that, that is the trick, to again and again keep the mind attached to Bhagavan in some way or another. So Mama Gunagana, hearing the gunas of Bhagavan, hearing the leelas of Bhagavan, Leela Karnane Kirtanadya, sometimes hearing, sometimes chanting, sometimes writing, sometimes doing mala like this. Maisura Saridoga Pratya Chitta Anuvrittihi Bhavati Parama Bhaktihi. This type of bhakti, Sahi Mrityor Vijetri. This type of bhakti will give you release from samsara, that janma, marana, jara, vyadi, all dukkha, dosha, all this will be removed by this type of bhakti. Is Pundanam not in Vaikunta now? Is Narayana Bhattadri not in Vaikunta? Is Prahlada not in Vaikunta? How did they attain? With bhakti. Prahlada says 9 types of bhakti, 9 limbs. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Bhakti Shastra mein romba perish. Prahlada has given 9 ways. Narada Bhakti Sutra also describes bhakti in many other 11 types, it seems. Shandilya Maharshi written about bhakti. Bhakti is very vast. About bhakti channa enade. Here, Shravanam. Who is the Acharya for Shravana Bhakti? It is Parikshit. Parikshit attained Bhagavan in 7 days by hearing Katha. Shravanam. Shravana Bhakti oda Acharya is Parikshit. Then Kirtanam. For Kirtanam, the Acharya, it seems, is Shuka Brahma. Shuka is the one who is singing Bhagavata and narrating Bhagavata, because Shuka already attained in that. It's a blissful state, but he comes to save Katha of Sri Harina. Imagine how beautiful the Katha is. So, Shukar is called the Acharya for Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho, Smaranam. For Smarana Bhakti, Smarana, the Acharya, it seems, is Prahlada. Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, always doing Pada Sevana. The Acharya for that Bhakti is Mahalakshmi, it seems. Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Prithu Chakravarti did lot of Bhakti to Bhagavan, he did lot of Yaga. And Bhagavan, pleased with him, appeared in the Yaga and blessed him. So Prithu Chakravarti is very famous for the Archanam. Archana Bhakti oda Acharya Prithu Chakravarti. Archanam Vandanam, the Acharya, it seems, is Akrura. We have seen Akrura's Bhakti in Bhagavatham. So Akrura, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. Dasya Bhakti is Hanumanji. Sakya is supposed to be Arjuna, I think. Arjuna. Then Atmanivedanam is Mahabali. He gave himself to Bhagavan. No matter how many tests Bhagavan put, he always said, forgive me, Krishna, take me. he never got angry. That is my prayer to Guru Ayappan. No matter what happens, let me never be angry with you. So that was Mahabali. So Mahabali is the Acharya for Atma Nivedanam. Like this, Bhaktiye romba vast. Ana indamari Bhakti, bhagavan is pleased. Bhagavan is pleased by Bhakti, and then it leads to Mrityor Vijayatri. Then there is no more birth and death. So, Bhavati Parama Bhakti, Sahi Mrityor Vijayatri, Kapila Tanurititvam, Devahutya Inyagati. Already told about Bhakti in the first shloka. Again, he tells about Bhakti in the fifth shloka. So, Bhakti is repeated again and again in Kapilopakyanam. Then it tells about the state of people who are not bhaktas. What happens to them? Ahaha bahula himsa sanchitārthaihi kutumbam pratidinam anupushnam strijito balalali vishadihi grihasakto yadanamai abhaktaha kapilatanurititvam devahutyainagadi. Ahaha. So sad. Ahaha means alas, what a waste. Ahaha bahula himsa sanchitārthaihi kutumbam pratidinam anupushnam strijito balalali vishadihi grihasakto yatanamai abhaktaha kapilatanurititvam.
சரி. அஹஹ பகுல ஹிம்சா சஞ்சிதா தை குடும்பம் பிரதிதினமனு புஷ்ணன் ஸ்ரீஜிதோ பாலதாரி விஷதி கிருகசக்தோ யாதனா மைய பக்தக கபிலதனுரிதம் தேவகூத்யை நகாதி.
Round and round in householder's life, and then he does all the toil. He toils in samsara for a number of years, and finally he dies. Again reborn, again goes and down in circles. Then next one, how about the child in the suffering in the womb? Why birth is itself so difficult? We say birth, death, we say that, right? Why we say that? The birth, as we are born, the child goes through very difficult time in the womb, and then as it comes out during the delivery of the mother, by the mother, it goes through lot of pain. It's very difficult to be born. So that is described in Bhagavatham very beautifully, how the fetus grows in the womb, what it goes through in the womb, and how much suffering it has to endure in the womb, and then when it is pushed out in the 10th month, and as it is coming out, how much it suffers. And then when it comes out, it again gets caught in the world. That is this shloka. Yuvati jataraginno jada bodopyakande prasava galida bodaha pidayolangya balyam punarapi bada muhyatyeva tarunyakale kapilatanuriritvam devahutyainagati. Yuvati jatarakinno jada bodopyakande prasavagalida bodaha pidayolangya balyam punarapi bada muhyatyeva tarunyakale kapilatanuriritvam devahutyainagadi. So when the fetus is conceived in the womb only, it grows little by little. All that is described like X-ray scan in Bhagavata shlokas. In Narayaneeyam it is all condensed, but we know that the child, the fetus in the womb is surrounded by all kind of filth. Then the mother will eat very spicy food that also burns the fetus. Then there will be insect and worms in that area. That also, the fetus is in a dark place for 7 to 10 months like this. At the end of the 7th month, it gets jnana, thinking, I'm again caught in this womb somehow, and I'm again going to be born. But at least this time, let me be a bhakta and attain you. Please let this not happen again and again. So the fetus is actually in a praying posture, it seems, in that 7th month Kaparam. It prays, says, please save me in this birth. And then, but again, when it is coming out at the time of delivery, that so much suffering it goes through, it forgets that it prayed in the womb. It forgets everything. Again, it comes out into the world. Then the nurse will take it and then try to clean it and then give it to the mother. And then it will keep crying. Nobody really knows why it is crying. They try to keep giving milk and slowly they'll pull it into the world by showing it toys and making it come into the world. And then it starts growing in the world. Again, it gets caught and becomes young person, then more attached to the world. Yuvati jatada kinno jada bodopya kande prasavagalida bodah pidayollangya balyam punarapi vada muhyatyeva tarunya kale. Again it is caught and again it goes in circles, again growing old and dying. So this is the fate of the jiva. So Kapila Bhagavan, for our sake, is teaching all this. Devahuti Amma is going to attain, anyway. But for us, he's reminding us of all this is what you have gone through. He's telling. Then, so the person who is abhakta, that was his state. Now the person who did good things, who accumulated lot of punya in this world, what about him? What is his gati? What happens to him? He goes through the southern path and enjoys the fruit of all his action. He lives in the heaven for some time. Again, when the punya is exhausted, again he will come back into this world. That is this shloka. Pitra sudha ganayaji dharmigo yo grihastha sachani patati kale dakshinadopagami mainihidam akamam karmadudat pathatham kapilatanuriditvam devahutyainagati pitra suragana yaji dharmigo yo grihastha sacha nipatati kale dakshinadopagami mainihidam akamam karmadudat pathatham kapilatanuriditvam devahutyai nyagadi. Who does nishkama karma, who has doing karma for and offering to Bhagavan, he will go through the northern path, it says. So, akamam mainihidam akamam karmadudat padhatham kapilatanuriditvam devahutyainyagadi. This way, Bhagavan teaches Devahutyaman and he lives. Iti suvidita vidyam devahe devahutim kridanuti manugrihya tvamgato yogi sangai vimalamati rathasau bhakti yogena mukta tvamapi janahitaर्थam vartase pragudichyam. Iti suvidita vidyam devahe devahutim kridanuti manugrihya tvamgato yogi sangai vimalamati rathasau bhakti yogena mukta tvamapi janahitaर्थam vartase pragudichyam. Blesses Devahuti and she attains Bhagavan by Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yogena Mukta, the practicing Bhakti and Devahuti Amma, all the attachment left. By Bhakti alone it is possible. So then she also attains Bhagavan. Kapila Muni, even now it seems he lives in the northeastern place for the welfare of all of us. Appadina, even now he lives Cholra. Tvamapi janahitaartham vartase pragudichyam. Then, beautiful again, last shloka. Paramakimu bahopya. Why should I keep saying again and again? Bhattadri is telling, the author is telling. What more to say, Krishna? It is very clear that the worship of you only removes all the fear. By worshipping you, all our fears are removed and we attain moksha. So this what shloka says. Paramakimu bahupya tvat padam bhoja bhaktim sakala bhaya vinetrim sarvakamo vanetrim vadasi khalu dridam tvam tad viduyamayan me Guru Pavana Puresha Tvayupadat Swabhaktim. Everything condensed in one shloka, just chant and whatever we said, the meaning, it will all come when we chant. Because Bhattadri prayed for our sake. He is telling, you only bestow Bhakti Guru and you only give us moksha and remove all our fears and fulfill all our desires. So, Paramakimo Bahupya Tvatpadamboja Bhaktim Sakala Bhayavinetrim Sarvakamo Vanetrim. Remove all bhayas. Sakala Bhayavinetrim Sarvakamo Vanetrim. Fulfill all the desire we have. Then Vadasi Kaludridam Tvam. Very firmly it is declared that bhakti will do this. Then vadasi kalu dhridam tvam tat viduyamayan me. Please cure all my ailment, Krishna. Guru Pavana Puresha Tvayupada Swabhaktim. Give me bhakti to you, Krishna. See how beautiful Narayaneeyam is? It's a prayer of surrender. Every time we chant, we are surrendering to Bhagavan. So just by chanting only, we get all the result. We don't need to know meaning. Just by chanting, it will come. So, Paramakimo Bahupya Tvatpadamboja Bhaktim Sakala Bhayavinetrim Sarvakamo Vanetrim Vadasi Kaludridam Tvam Tat Viduyamayan Me Guru Pavana Puresha Tvayupadat Swabhaktim. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha Anandavagodhatmagamανupamidam Kaladeshavadibhyam Nirmuktam Nityamuktam Nigamashara Sahasrena Nirbhasyamanam Aspashtam Drishtamatre Punarurupurusharthatmakam Brahma Tattvam Tattavadvadi Sakshat Guru Pavanapure Andabhagyam Janana. See the lotus feet of Bhagavan. The feet of Bhagavan are amazing. You know, how many bhaktas, just by worshipping the lotus feet, they attain moksha. The feet of Bhagavan are so powerful. In many chapters we can see that. But if you go to the Gita, there is the shloka about the lotus feet of Bhagavan. There Paramakimo Bahuktya Tvatpadamboja Bhaktim Tvatpadamboja Bhaktim. So the lotus feet of Bhagavan will remove all our fears and it will fulfill all our desires. So the feet are always worshipped by bhaktas. Why the feet are so powerful? Pranada Dehina Papa Karshanam. It removes all our papa. When we do pranams to the lotus feet and worship the feet, all our papa are removed. Why are we having dukkha? Because of some papa from before, some sin from before. So the worshipping the feet remove that papa. Pranada Dehina Papa Karshanam Trinacharanugam Sriniketanam. Trinacharanugam, they used to walk in the grass in Vrindavana. The lotus feet of Bhagavan, they roamed around all the pastures in Vrindavana, and they are the Pada Sevanam. Mother Lakshmi is the Acharya, we said, right? Mother Lakshmi is always worshipping the feet of Bhagavan. So, Trinacharanugam Sriniketanam Hanipanarpitam Te Padam. This Kaliya, Bhagavan stepped on his head, and this Kaliya has so much papa, sin. It's the very embodiment of sin, and that is has intense heat of that sin that Kaliya has. But when Bhagavan stepped on him, he removed all the poison from him. The poison is that heat of that Kaliya has. And so when Bhagavan, when he placed his lotus feet, nothing happens to Bhagavan and Kaliya is purified. So the lotus feet, they are able to handle all that poison of Kaliya and purify him. Such is the greatness of that Panipanarpitam Te Padambujam Kranakucheshu na Krindi Hrichayam. Like that, our heart also has so much, viraha tapam. And so you put the lotus feet in our chest and remove our, our suffering. Like that, the gopis pray. So the lotus feet of Bhagavan, again we see how Lord Rama just stepped on the stone, Ahalya, who was turned a stone, by the placing his feet, Mother Ahalya regained her form. So the feet of Bhagavan are very, very auspicious, and that is why all the bhaktas always resort to the feet. So when one worships the feet, the paramakimu bahutya tvat padamboja bhaktim sakala bhaya vinetrim, all the bhaya we feel, the bhaya is a very, very tamasic feeling, and it is very, very, very hard to go through when we have some bhayam all the time. So the only way to get rid of bhayam is by remembering smiling face of Krishna or remembering the lotus feet of Krishna. Our Guruji says, don't have fear. Put a smiling face of Krishna in your prayer room and, sing for Nama for him. See how your bhaya will go away. So remember, I always remember the smiling face of Guruji or Guruvayurappan, then the bhaya, it goes away. So by worshipping the feet, the bhaya, sakala bhaya vinetri, sarva kamo banetri. Also, if you want some desire is there, some wish is there, to fulfill that wish, again you pray to the lotus feet of Bhagavan, and that is the way to have all our desire fulfilled and also remove fear. So and very dridam, Bhagavan has declared firmly this. Vadasi kalu dridam tvam. Bhagavan has declared very firmly that by worshipping my feet, all your fears will be removed and all your desire will be fulfilled. Vadasi kalu dridam tvam tat viduyamayan me guru pavana puresha tvayupadhatsva bhaktim. Therefore give me bhakti. So that was the shloka, right?